Hello, welcome to my LDRS 341 Strategic Planning and Forecasting presentation. My name is Monique Moreno, and I'm currently a junior at Humboldt University, and I'm part of the Leadership Studies program. This presentation is going to be about household chores completed by the children of the household, which are my children right here, Aaliyah and Alexis. In this presentation, one can expect to hopefully gain an understanding of how my children should be doing the chores. This not only helps us, the parents, save money, but it also teaches my children and hopefully puts them on the right path to becoming better adults. The purpose of this strategic plan is to show the strategies as well as the pros and cons of household chores being done by the children, by our children. In this day and age, a lot of families have outside companies or people come into their homes to clean, and sometimes the adults just do it themselves. This can be costly and tiring for the parents. This plan will show why it is important to have our children do our chores, well, the family chores. It will also hopefully show how it is beneficial for both the children and the parents. Both the strengths and weaknesses will be identified by both internal and external threats. Our vision is to save our family money by not having to outsource to have household cleaning done. We strive to have our family work together and to hopefully spend some time discussing and doing the chores. As a family, if we save money, we can do more outside activities together later. Yes, it's not going to be like we're saving a ton of money, but every little bit helps. Our mission is that by having our children do the chores, that we are inspiring them to be more responsible in their daily lives. We are striving to teach them and to do things on their own and to become dependable adults. We are also teaching them to be independent instead of codependent. Our values are that by teaching our children, we can help shape their lives later. If our children have responsibilities at home, they may struggle in life. If our children have no responsibilities at home, they may struggle later in life. We want to make our children better for this world and better for themselves. Our approach to the strategic plan is this. Currently in the Moreno household, there are two parents, Camby and Monique, father and a mother. There are also two children, Aaliyah, age 12, and Alexis, age 5. The parents are the ones that are to give out the chores. A chore list has been made and it is posted in the hallway as the girls walk towards their room. This was the location that both girls agreed on. This is the chore list. They stated that having it in the hallway would help them to remember to do their chores daily. The chore list has the list of chores that needs to be done and also the name of who needs to do what chore on what day, as you can see. The girls are to cross them off as they get completed. When the chore list was made, I went over the list with the children to ensure they understood what needed to be done and to see if there was any questions. The children and I also went over the list to make sure they knew where the tools to complete the chores were at, or if they needed any other tools to complete these tasks. Strengths. Our strengths are that we are inexpensive. We don't have strangers in our home. We are teaching our children responsibility. We're teaching them independence. Our strength opportunities. There's low or no cost, and this leads to little or no stress. We don't have strangers in our home, and this makes us feel safer. Teaching our children responsibility helps them in the long run. Teaching independence prepares them for the real world. Our strength threats. Teaching responsibility is good, but it may lead to acting too grown up too soon. Being too independent means not really needing the parents anymore. Children might argue more with their parents or with us so as not to do chores. Our children might be too tired from the day's activities to complete the chores. Our weakness. Alexis is too young to do some chores alone, and she just barely started doing chores at age 5. Aaliyah has had many extracurricular activities and often comes home late. Grandma often does the chores for them before the parents get home. Our weakness opportunities. Alexis can help Aaliyah to do the big chores instead of doing nothing or Aaliyah doing them alone. Chores can be done on weekends instead of during the week. Grandma needs to be told to let the kids do their own chores. Weakness threats. Due to extracurricular activities, the children do not always have time for chores or doing them too late at night or not at all. Children might be mad at parents because they think they're being mean. Having a younger daughter often means that the older daughter gets more chores. Overall, our family needs to have the kids do household chores. This saves from having to have an outside company come in and do the work. Often, Camby and I are worried about leaving strangers in our home to clean the house. But with having our kids do it, we don't need to worry about that. This would also mean that cleaning supplies in our home are the ones that are being used. And also that the vacuum is the only vacuum that is used in our home. Often outside companies use their own affordable cleaning supplies. They also use the same vacuum in every location. So you never know what they might be bringing in from someone else's home or what they might leave in my home. Also, saving money on not having someone else do it means more money for day trips and little rewards. One thing to remember is Aaliyah and Alexis do need to be reminded that this is not a punishment, but a way to teach them to one day become responsible and independent adults. Emerging priorities. We, Camby and Monique, the parents, want a clean house, and we need it done in a timely manner. I also want to save a little money, and I enjoy discussing chores with the kids. We also enjoy teaching our children to become, hopefully, good people. We want things done quickly and efficiently. Technology doesn't matter as long as the job gets done correctly. External opportunities are that this is a low-cost organization. We are family operated and do not have the added stress of having to deal with big companies. Some external threats would be that our children may not always have the time or energy to complete the chores. Some key forces would be our children complaining about having to do the housework. Also, they may not really want to be doing the chores and could end up doing them on purpose, wrong on purpose. We feel that teaching is very important. We also want our children to be proud of the work and the effort they put into their chores. Everyone wants a clean home and to save money, as do we. Having a clean home makes us feel good about ourselves and our family. We also feel that teaching responsibility is important in today's society. Key strategies and capabilities. One strategy that we have is a chore list, as seen previously. Having a chore list in place with the names and the dates with the task that needs to be done can be very helpful. When we tried to do chores in the past without a list, it was kind of like chaos. Aaliyah often forgot what she was supposed to do, and Alexis didn't even know what was going on. Random chores that cannot be given due to not being on the list could be because they will often not get done. Every little chore needs to be on this list because Aaliyah needs a list for things to get done. Aaliyah has ADD, and a slight learning disability, so the list helps her remember and stay focused on what needs to be done. Alexis is just excited to finally be able to do chores. There is no money needed for this, only the time needed to ensure that the chore list is accurate. Aaliyah, Alexis, and Monique, me, can sit together to ensure the list is updated and easily understood. Our next strategy and capability are the ages of the chores being done. In our family, we only have 2 children, ages 5 and up. And ages 5 and up, each one can only be allowed to do certain chores. For example, Alexis is not yet old enough to clean the restroom, at least not alone. But she can watch and assist Aaliyah so that when Monique and Camby, the parents, feel she is old enough, she can be ready to do the job. Ensuring proper teaching and training can go a long way. It helps everyone feel included, and questions can be asked if needed. One last strategy that we have, the capability, is little rewards. With saving a little money on not having to have an outside company come and do the chores, the children can get rewarded once a month or get a big reward later. For example, since we do not pay for someone to come clean our home, we were able to take little family trips throughout the year. The girls are also able to play sports and get little treats. Aaliyah and Alexis get their toes done monthly, and Aaliyah has a phone. Alexis gets rewarded with numerous JoJo Siwa bows for her hair. Before I give a scenario, I want to give an example of my family and how doing chores helps us. Both Aaliyah and Alexis come home daily after school and complete any homework. Once homework is complete, they look at their chore list and complete the tasks that are assigned. Aaliyah also plays softball, and she tries to do her chores before her games or practice. Sometimes she does not have to do chores when she gets home, but for the most part, they are done beforehand. This is Alexis's first year completing chores. She was very excited since she has seen her sister do chores for some time now. She is also learning to read, so reading the chore list helps her learn new words. Both girls are excellent students in school. Aaliyah is part of her school's honor society, and Alexis is learning first grade words in kindergarten. Both girls know the things that need to be done at home and at school. They are responsible at home and at school. They are both very independent and like to complete their tasks without assistance. Now here's a scenario of the future. Aaliyah is now an adult with her own family. She went to college and got her degree and a job that she worked hard for. She is married and has 2 kids of her own, ages 5 and 12. She is currently updating a chore list for her children. The 12-year-old has been doing chores for some time now, but without a list. Now that the second child is old enough to complete the chores, Aaliyah decided it was time to make a list. One child asked her why they have to have a list. Aaliyah replies that when she was a child, her and her sister had a list, and it helped them to know who needed to do what chore and when. She also says that a chore list will help them do the same thing. She also goes over the list with both of her children and makes sure they understand what needs to be done. Both children appreciate the list because the older one often forgets what needed to be done in the first place. Having a list helps them remember and helps them help each other. Our impact. If this organization becomes successful, then scenarios like the one above can be a reality. Our family needed to stop and think about how we would help our children become better adults. We needed to think about ways we could save money and teach our children some values. Instead of paying someone to clean our home, we can have our children do it. There could even be times when we do it together and we could build lasting bonds. This fact alone should make this organization and its mission sound appealing. Teaching responsibility is important. Today, most kids do not have this anymore, and they are sent out into the real world, and we have unhappy adults working with people. Unhappy adults makes other people unhappy, and they also make mistakes that could cost the company fortunes to fix. We need to think about the future today and help build character in our children so that tomorrow they can be happy and change our futures. Thank you.